Hi, I'm Michael Trigg, the Presentation Maestro. And if this is your first time here, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Now, I was asked this question on a recent webinar, and I'm afraid the recording is a little bit grainy. I look like the creature from the pit, but the answer's fairly sound, and I hope you enjoy it.
Earlier, not only about being interesting and engaging when you're talking to people, but losing completely all the techno bollocks that people talk. And in fact, I wasn't going to say it at the time. I'm going to say it now because it's so relevant. One of the guys I worked with a few years ago, he was a fund manager in an investment bank. Very good at managing money, but not terribly good at putting it across. And I worked with him and helped him strip out most of the banking language. And once every quarter, I think, or 6 weeks in an investment bank, the fund management desks invite the rest of the bank in to listen to them. And they say, basically, this is what our fund does, this is what it is, go sell it to your clients. And you might imagine, I don't know if you can or not, but I encourage you to, that these talks are full of the most unimaginable banker's bollocks. Most people don't understand, and they don't understand it. I've tested this umpteen frigging times. I gave it to, I'll talk about it later, stay with this one. And I wasn't there for his big day, but a friend of mine, or an acquaintance of mine in the bank, rang me up that afternoon. He said, Michael, you'll love this. I was there for the whole day, and I was sitting next to the marketing director of this bank. She was a very punchy American lady. And as we were walking out afterwards, she turned to me, referring to the guy I've been working with, and I'm going to use one rude word in this, but it's real because it's what she said. She said, you know, that's the first fucking presentation I've understood in this bank for 3 years. And she was a bloody marketing director. And the other story I was going to tell you is a few years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, I was lucky enough to give a talk for about a couple of hours, or a workshop, to the INSEAD Alumni Association in a cellar in the city. 50 people there, very bright people, all graduates of INSEAD Business School. And I thought I'd have a bit of fun. And I downloaded onto my iPhone the Harvard MBA 3-letter abbreviation app. And I said, look, guys and girls, I'm sure you know all this, but I just test you out a couple of things. And I got the app out and I said, what does XYZ mean? And 20 hands went up. And went, no, it means something else. What about FGU? 15 hands went up. No. And what about another? ABC. 10 hands went up this time, not quite so confident. Yeah, no. And I said, ladies and gentlemen, I rest my case. Trouble is, you're using these expressions all the time. You haven't got a frigging clue what they mean. I would keep it plain and down to earth.
I hope you found that useful. Make sure you hit the subscription button and the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next one.